What's going on, Whalers fam? We're back with a Wednesday night summer mixed league video. It's week 7, only a handful of league nights left to go. We're already well over halfway the summer schedule now. Tonight we are going to open up with the Hammer Radioactive Vibe like I usually would. We are coming off of a very bad Monday league night video where we hit a summer low of 470 series, and that also followed up two 600s a couple videos prior to that, which right now we're facing that high-low type game, I guess, with series being really high and then one being really low. It'd be nice to look for some middle ground this evening. That'd be a bit ideal. Maybe string a couple strikes tonight and have a great game would be ideal. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much where I would like to be. I do have my Hammer Radioactive Vibe, Rhino, and Spare Ball like I usually do. Nothing has changed. Now, the next video after this one is going to be our Cool Book shootout, but it's at a different house, so a new bowling house will be unlocked essentially. We'll be bowling somewhere that I haven't bowled before for that. So it's a preview of what will come in Turtles in August. So we're getting a little bit of a preview earlier than expected, but it works out great for us. But anyhow, back on the league night. We just need some good games tonight. We had a good week Wednesday last week. Just got to follow it up again. And if we don't, it's going to be a long road till the next video. On to game one. Like and subscribe if you like the content so far. Alrighty, we're winding down game one now on the evening. We are going into the 10th frame with a triple. So we bounced back from missing a 7 pin and the baby split that we had in the second frame. So right now we're doing good here. Should we strike once again for a handbow in the first ball of the 10th? Trying to cut into the deficit now. We get this. Yeah. Yep. It's a bad way to finish it, but we still break 200 regardless. I just go for 2 pins on the right side just because I feel like I needed to work on that. I get both successfully, and we finish with a 208. TJ's back up now. He's going to try to keep cutting into this deficit. The only problem we had here was an average related issue. Obviously, I made my average, and TJ made his as well, but Mark had a slow start, and it is what it is, sadly, and that's why you're seeing the deficit blooming as much as it has in favor of the other team. I think all four of them literally broke average plus 10 maybe in this first game. So, yeah, and that about tells you why the deficit is where it is in this particular um, game. But we still got a long night to go, still two full games. We're off to a great start regardless, and we just got to keep it going as we move over to switch sides. If you guys like the content so far, make sure you like and subscribe. Feel free to check out our shorts on the channel as well. We do have shorts. I will share what they look like. They're just short clips. Feel free to show some support to them. They're just highlights on the videos you see here. Thank you for watching so far, and on to game 2. So we're now coming into the middle of the second game here. Mark is on a roll with a double between myself, TJ, and Mark. We are completely clean through all these frames so far. My turn to get tested on a 7-pin. We just barely get it there. And I open for the first time in game 2, sadly. That does kind of suck because it's the worst time to do it. Mark will go for a triple though. And it's our turn to get back up to try to fix a mistake in the frame prior. And good news for us, we end up striking on the other lane, and we rotate back up to Mark once again. This is for 4 in a row. He ends up doing so. I think it was one of those last second strikes too. I'm back up now as well. For me though, I'm in a split situation, but this is something I'm used to and know what to do at this bowling alley when I see that. And we end up going right between both those pins and sparing right away. A lot of people are surprised that I get that one, but I've seen it enough and got it enough to know what's going on. Mark will start the 10th frame with a strike. He'll go to his second ball now. He's on pace for a high game this game if all goes well. This, however, would finish him with a 236 in game 2 after leaving 2 up there. We strike in the first ball of the 10th frame. That's plus 20 as we continue to try to cut a deficit. They're already down to their last bowler, so we're just playing catch up real quick. We double up in the 10th. We're on to the last ball we can throw in the 10th frame, and we leave another 10 pin, but thankfully we don't have to spare this one because it's on the last one. TJ's up now. This would really help us out, and he leaves the 8 pin. A little bit of disgust after the fact. This is the spare of that pin, or the 8 pin, which he will get. Now TJ will throw a fill ball here to finish it up, and we will end up just barely being able to make all those pins up that they had. We end up going on to lose by 10 in this game. We were super close, but all three of us between Mark, myself, and TJ were pretty solid. We didn't really get much help at the top of the order either, as the average was missed by like 27 pins. So sadly, we will go on to lose game 2, but a solid effort to say the least from the three of us. We put in a good game. We only opened once, and that probably would have made a massive difference in outcome for this game. But it is what it is. Can't complain. Is what it is. On to game 3. So I didn't really have this in the script. We kind of find ourselves with 3 opens in a row after striking twice. It doesn't really seem about normal, but yeah, that happened. Wasn't really part of my plan, but yeah, we leave a 7 pin again here. And I know earlier we missed the 7 pins, so hopefully we can get it again. And we end up missing the 7 again. So that is now 4 opens in a row. So we have a lot of bleeding that occurred where we were just opening literally everything, and some of these balls ended up looking terrible. after I look back at everything. These are pretty bad. I ended up taking 3 out of 9 here, so this is another open. So I think you guys kind of get the idea now. We're just opening insanely um, often. This is a baby split here. That didn't fall our way. I come in with the spare ball to try to pick it up, and I take the furthest left pin on that situation. I was going to try to redirect it, but sometimes with that ball, it's actually tougher to do. Although going into this frame now, we have another 7 pin. Maybe before the night ends, we can actually make right of it. And we do. So we finally fill a frame. Going into the 10th frame now. And even though this game's pretty much out of reach, we strike right away. So that's 2 marks right out of the gate now, ever since we've been continuously opening. And then here we kind of just go for count. Or I'm sorry. No, we struck first ball, so this is just for filling. I take the spare ball here and we take out the spare. So our last 2 frames of the night are bare minimum filled, but thankfully we have 2 higher games at 208, 194. So either way, we're gonna be close to our average series. I just don't know what it ends up playing out as. So we'll be finding out as things unfold. TJ's just throwing his last few balls here. This is already a loss, so I'm just showing that off real quick. But I guess if you were to describe our night, it's not bad. It's just the last game didn't fall the way I would prefer it to, but it is what it is. Sadly, I say that a lot. TJ is just going to spare there. I'm going to skip the spare shot to recap the series. 208, 194, and 141 for 543. We just missed average by 6 pins, so basically if one of those opens in the third game was a spare, we'd be just over average, but not by much. Our team record drops to 36 and 27. We're still in the top 6 in this league, so we just have to have a good week next week to try to overcome what we faced here tonight. We lost game 3 by 101 pins, lost game 1 by a good bit as well, and game 2 was our only closest game of the night. And if, game 2 was close as it was, I wish it did fall our way, but it didn't. So yeah, 0 and 9. I think this is like the second time in 3 weeks we got 0 and 9, so it's a brutal hit. If you guys like this video, make sure you tap that like and subscribe to the channel as well. We're almost to 400 subscribers on the channel. Feel free to visit our shorts to review the clips. They're just highlights of what you see in these videos, and I will be sure to catch you on the next video, which is a tournament video coming out on Thursday. See you soon.